Why do you feel so exhausted even when you have done nothing all day? You wake up, and before your feet even touch the floor, there is a weight on your chest. It is not physical. It is not made of lead or stone. It is the weight of every conversation you didn't finish, every mistake you made 10 years ago, every expectation your parents, your boss, and your society placed upon your shoulders. Imagine you are standing at a train station holding a suitcase. At first, it's manageable, but the train is delayed. You keep holding it. An hour passes. Your arm begins to ache. 5 hours pass. Your muscles are screaming. A day passes. You are paralyzed by the weight. Why don't you just put it down? Because you have convinced yourself that the suitcase is you. You believe that if you let go of that suitcase, you will disappear. But today, we are going to look at that suitcase out of a different lens. We are going to explore the profound concept of sunyata, emptiness, not as a void of nothingness, but as a space of infinite freedom. We will understand why your mind has become a heavy suitcase, and how the most courageous thing you can ever do is to simply let it be. Psychologically, we are collectors. From the moment we are born, we begin to collect identities. I am a son. I am a student. I am a success. I am a failure. We attach ourselves to these labels because they provide a sense of safety in a chaotic world. But attachment is a double-edged sword. To attach to success is to live in constant, low-level terror of failure. In psychology, we call this identity fusion. You become so entwined with your thoughts and roles that you can no longer see the difference between the story of your life and the experience of living. Every time someone hurts you, you put a brick in your suitcase. Every time you fail a goal, you put another brick in. You think you are being responsible by carrying them. You think remembering the pain will protect you from future pain. But the opposite is true. The heavier the suitcase, the slower you move. The slower you move, the more vulnerable you become. We often think of ourselves as a solid object, like a statue carved from marble. If someone chips a piece off the statue, it is damaged forever. This is why we protect our ego so fiercely. But Buddhist philosophy suggests a more fluid reality. You are not a statue. You are a river. A river is never the same from one second to the next. The water flows, the silt moves, the banks change. When you try to hold on to a specific moment in the river, you end up with a bucket of stagnant water. The water is no longer the river. It has lost its life because it has lost its movement. Your mind is the same. When you hold on to a memory or a grudge, you are trying to turn a living, flowing consciousness into a static, dead thing. This is the root of your suffering. You are fighting against the very nature of existence, which is change. The word emptiness often sounds scary to the Western mind. It sounds like loneliness. It sounds like a black hole. But in the philosophy of sunyata, emptiness is the highest state of being. Think of a cup. What makes the cup useful? It is not the ceramic walls. It is the empty space inside. Without that emptiness, the cup cannot hold tea. It cannot serve its purpose. If the cup is already full of dirty water, you cannot pour fresh wine into it. Your mind is currently full of dirty water, old beliefs, stale regrets, and rigid opinions. You complain that you don't feel inspired, that you don't feel new. But how can anything new enter a space that is already packed to the ceiling? Emptying the mind is not about losing your mind. It is about creating the utility of space. It is about realizing that your thoughts are like clouds, passing through a sky. The sky is not the clouds. The sky is the emptiness that allows the clouds to exist. When you identify with the sky, the clouds no longer bother you. But there is a subtle but vital difference between letting go and letting be. When we try to let go, we often turn it into a struggle. I must let go of this anger. Why can't I let go? This is just more carrying. It's like trying to throw a brick out of your suitcase while adding 2 more bricks of effort and frustration. Letting be is different. It is the psychological practice of non-interference. You acknowledge the heavy brick in your suitcase. You feel its weight. You recognize its shape. And then you simply stop gripping the handle. You don't throw it away. You just stop carrying it. In psychology, we call this radical acceptance. It is the realization that the past happened, and no amount of rumination will change the chemical composition of a single second that has already passed. When you let things be, they lose their power over you. They become objects in the room rather than chains on your wrists. Why is it so hard to put the suitcase down? Because of the void. If you are not the person who was wronged, or the person who is struggling, then who are you? We are addicted to our problems because they give us a narrative. They give us a reason to be special. To be empty is to be nobody. And to the ego, being nobody is worse than being miserable. But look at the wise old man sitting by the stream. He has no suitcase. He has no story he's trying to sell to the world. He's simply present. He's the rustle of the leaves. He's the steam rising from the tea. He has discovered that when you stop being somebody, you become everything. This is the ultimate psychological breakthrough. The realization that your identity is a garment you can take off, not a skin you must live in. How do we practically apply this? How do we start unpacking the suitcase? First, we practice the witness. When a painful thought arises, do not say, "I am sad." Say, "I notice a feeling of sadness arising." This creates a millimeter of space, and in that millimeter, freedom lives. Second, we embrace the impermanence of the suitcase. Look at your worries from 5 years ago. Where are they now? Most have evaporated. Realize that your current worries will follow the same path. They are ghosts pretending to be mountains. Third, we find the beauty in nothing. Spend 5 minutes a day doing absolutely nothing. No phone, no book, no productive meditation. Just sit. Let the silence be loud. Let the boredom itch. In that discomfort, you will find the edge of your suitcase. You will see where you end and the burden begins. As you begin to empty the mind, something miraculous happens. Your energy returns. The chronic fatigue lifts. You start to see colors more vividly. You hear the nuances in music you've listened to 100 times. This is because you are no longer spending 90% of your brain power holding on to the past. You are finally available for the present. You realize that the heavy suitcase was never yours to carry. It was a collection of borrowed items you picked up along the way, thinking they were treasures. You can leave them here. I'm at this station. The train of life is moving, and it moves much faster when you aren't weighted down. Let it be. Let it all be. Conclusion: the flight of the empty soul. The most powerful thing you can do for your soul is to realize it doesn't need fixing. It doesn't need more stuff, more knowledge, more money, more validation. It needs less. It needs to be hollowed out so the wind of the universe can blow through it and make music. You are not the suitcase. You are the traveler. and the traveler is meant to be light. So, take a deep breath, feel the handle of your mind suitcase in your hand, and just let go. Open your hands. Open your heart. There is nothing to lose but your chains. And there is an entire sky waiting for you to fly. What are you still holding on to? Is it worth the weight of your life?